What's up, Model Geeks? Hey, it's Brian with BG Model Workshop, and this is an update on our Revell 68 Corvette 2-in-1. And we're building this for the Little Charlie Templin's Back to the 60s group build. And we are having a blast. I tell you what, we did the car in Fathom Green by Testers. It's the lacquer system. It's a two-part lacquer system, so you get the base coat color, and then you got to go put the clear coat on, and that's basically how we do most of our builds anyway, so it wasn't that much of a big deal for us. I just hadn't used a Testers brand before, and haven't been disappointed yet, so it's 100% success rate so far. Let's see here. We got our gloss coat on there. I'm going to say it was Friday. We sprayed that on there. It's hardening up real nice. I really like how it looks. It's got a good factory sheen to it. It's not too glossy. I don't recall these cars being very glossy to begin with, so I'm pretty happy with that. We did have choice of hoods, and we have the L88 hood here. And then we also have the stock hood here. And check it out. We have clear coat on the L88 hood. And look at the difference there, huh? It really helps darken and deepen the color a bit. I like that a lot. The reason why I went with the L88 hood was because it's just cool. That's why. Look at that. That is awesome. Also, this dude here had some sink marks in there from the remove panel that's supposed to be for the dragster version. And I didn't want to deal with that. So this guy won out because of the style and because it was user-friendly. Over here we have our hard top, and that doesn't have clear coat on it yet because, well, for a very basic reason. I forgot to shoot this while I was shooting the rest of the car, but I will clear coat that also so that we have the optional hard top. But I am just really liking how this convertible top, the rag top, looks. So that's just looking sweet. We did our little darts in silver there. Remember, my dad had a 68 Corvair that had it was a convertible, and it had those little darts in silver. They were like little bits that screwed down over this bar that goes along the back here, kind of holds it in place. And I always thought those were kind of cool. So I knew I was going to be painting those silver. But this was done in Tamiya pure white, and that was just a little too pure white. So we went back over it with just a light coat of the racing white, which has a little bit of a cream coloring to it. And I really think that looks like the old vinyl tops we used to see when I was a kid. So that's looking sweet, and it's looking really, really nice on the car here. So let's see if we can match these pins up. There you go. So that's looking really, really sweet. Very sexy indeed. I like that a lot. So that's doing well. Our interior tub is coming together nicely. It's mostly just black with a little bit of silver detailing highlights. I'm not really happy with my gauges. I've been struggling with those a little bit, so I'm probably going to keep working on those before I get happy with that. And then our engine bay. We did the engine in, what is that, Model Master Chevy engine red. So that came out kind of nice. This is a lacquer. I actually brush painted this with the lacquer, and it turned out pretty nice. So I'm really pleased with how that came out. Do have a photo etch alternator bracket up there, holding that in the sky. And then we have the L88 air cleaner adapter on there. And then if your eagle-eyed viewers will notice that there is no shroud for the distributor cap, and that's because this particular vehicle did not come with a radio, because it was basically a factory race car, so there was no radio in it. Kind of a funny deal, but you know, it is what it is, and that's kind of how it worked. Let's see here. There's a firewall. We did some detail painting on that. And I am using the German gray for the firewall and the chassis because I thought that would look cooler that way. But our fender liners are going to actually be, our inner fenders are going to be black. So I think that's going to be the best all-around option for that deal there. Our our kit tires I didn't really care for because they're really chunky. They're really chunky, especially for the time that this car was made. So we pulled out the AMT parts pack, got the Redline tires out, and fitted those with the wheel covers, and those look nice. We're also going to do a black wash in there, so it'll help bring out some of our detail. Let's see here. So we're looking pretty good there. We just need to put our manifolds onto the engine and then our engine into the chassis. But before we do any of that, we do need to make sure that, because the original tires for the kit were a little bit, just a hair bit deeper than the tires that we're going with, I do have to thin out the wheel backs just a little bit. This ridge right here, we have to take that down so that the wheels fit on better, because otherwise we're gonna have this really wonky gap in there, and they're gonna make them stick out, and I'm not gonna like that. So we're gonna try and thin out those wheel backs a little bit so that everything compresses and holds the tire in place correctly, so the tires won't wobble around on the rims. And nobody's got time for that, right? All right, guys and gals, we're going to sign off for now. I don't know if we're going to do another update this week before Thanksgiving, but if we don't, y'all have a great Thanksgiving full of friends, family, and fun, and food. You know, food's good too. But if you're friends of ours that are not in the United States, have a great Thursday instead. But we're going to have an interesting Thanksgiving because our fridge died yesterday after we had a birthday party here for me and Linda, and invited over some family. And after everybody left, we noticed that the freezer wasn't freezing things anymore. And then as the day went on, things just got worse. So, yeah. So we don't get a new fridge until Friday. We got a whole week to go before we got a new fridge coming in. So I'll be going over to my sister's house and borrowing every cooler they have available. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. So thankfully we weren't really planning on doing a Thanksgiving feast here because, well, we don't have any place to store food then. So it's helped keeping us honest, that's for sure. All right, guys and gals, we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Have a great rest of the week. Bye now.